Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing subtracting integers. Last time we met we did adding integers, and we're going to take this the next step further. With subtracting integers, I want to give you a method I find works really well, and hopefully if you try this you're going to find it works fantastically well for yourself. Now the big idea behind this is we're getting rid of the subtraction sign. We are bringing it into addition. If you keep it as addition, and you did the addition of integers the last lesson, you will find this to be very easy. If you leave it as subtraction sign, you may lead yourself up to having some issues with some of the problems. They can get pretty tricky. So it's up to you. I suggest doing it this way, having it as an addition problem. Now, the method that we use in our class is called LCO, where the L stands for leave, the C stands for change, and the O stands for opposite. You're going to hear me referring to LCO all the time throughout the rest of today's lesson. That is what I'm referring to with LCO, leave, change, opposite. So let's go ahead and start off with a problem. We're going to do a positive minus a positive. So we're going to do 5 minus 8. So what we're going to do is when we do our 5 minus 8, we're going to actually write LCO above the problem. We're going to have an L over the first number, a C over the subtraction sign, O over the second number. You always do it this way. Now leave means we're going to leave this 5 just the way it is. So I'm going to bring it down as a 5. The subtraction sign we're going to change. We're going to change it to addition. And the 8 we're going to do the opposite of. So the opposite of a positive 8 is a negative 8. So it's going to be 5 plus negative 8. We talked about some different ways of doing this. We could the last time we met, we did one way, concrete way of using negative signs and positive signs. We can go ahead and give that a try, see if that helps to refresh your memory a little bit. This would be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negative or plus signs. And then for the negative 8, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the negative signs. And then all we're going to do is we're going to figure out what we have less addition signs. We're going to, our positive signs, we're going to circle the 5 positive signs, and we're going to circle 5 of the negative signs. The positive sign and a negative sign, they cancel each other out. So 5 positive signs and 5 negative signs cancel each other out, which leaves us with a total of 3 negative signs. So our answer to this problem equals negative 3. So 5 minus 8, which is 5 plus negative 8, is a grand total of negative 3. That is using the LCO method. Now, let's go ahead and try another version of this. This time we're going to do number 2. We're going to do negative 3 minus 5. So now we're going to take a negative number and we're going to subtract a positive number. Again, I'm going to put the LCO on here. Negative 3 will remain. We'll leave it a negative 3. We're going to change subtraction to addition. And we're going to do the opposite of positive 5, which is negative 5. Now, I didn't do this on the addition of integers lesson, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. We can do this on a number line to kind of prove our answer. And so let's say that we are starting with the negative 3. I'm going to put it right over, well here, I'm going to do 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And then I'm going to count back 5 negative signs, 5 points to the left. So negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. I'm just going to keep on going. Negative 8, negative 9, and we'll go all the way to negative 10. This is how you use a number line to prove the solution to a subtraction or an addition problem with integers. Since this is addition, I'm going to start with a -3. I'm going to plot my point right here. I'm going to go 5 spaces to the left because -5 tells us we're going to go to the left. If it was positive, we'd go to the right, but it's negative, so we're going to go to the left. And how many spaces to the left? Well, 5 spaces. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to the left, which means our answer is -8. Now, the other way you could prove this is you could simply say, well, I know that if I have 3 negatives plus 5 negatives, that is a total of, well, basically 3 plus 5, 8 negatives altogether. And so we get the same answer either way. But those are 2 ways of using like a concrete type of method to help you solve this. And so this time we have a negative subtracting a positive. We did a positive subtracting a positive. Well, what happens if we have a positive subtracting a negative? And so let's have 9 minus -9. Now, don't be confused. Gut instinct's going to tell a lot of people, well, that's 0 because we have 9 minus -9. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Let's find out. I don't want to jump to conclusions. So we're going to go ahead and put our LCO. The 9 stays a 9. We're going to change subtraction to addition, and we're going to change the -9 into a +9. And real quick, I wanted to point out the -9 is in parentheses. The reason we do that is so that we don't think it's saying 9 minus -9. It just kind of separates the -9 from the subtraction sign so that we know it is a -9. And so you'll see the parentheses a lot once you're dealing with rational numbers and integers like the ones we're doing right now. Okay, now we have 9 plus 9. I think you guys can do 9 plus 9. That would be a total of 18. And since they are both positive, the answer would in fact remain positive. So in this case, 9 minus -9 is actually positive 18. Think of it this way. We have $9 and we owed $9. But someone said, you know what, I'm going to take away that bill for $9. You no longer owe me $9. So it's kind of like they gave us the $9 back. And so now we're $18 ahead total. That's kind of what happens when you subtract a negative. It's getting rid of a negative number, which is kind of like getting a positive. Much like having a positive, having that taken away from us is just like adding a negative. Okay, our final type of scenario that we have is if we have a negative number, like -6, minus another negative number, so like -12. And again, we're going to avoid at this point using our negative and positive signs to represent the problem. We're not going to use the number line. We're going to try to do as much with an algorithm as we can. And our algorithm is going to be using the LCO method. And we're going to do -6. Instead of subtraction, we're going to change it to addition, plus +12. Okay, now, refreshing your memory, we had learned this before. We have a negative number being added to a positive number, which means we're going to have to figure out which do we have more of. We have 6 negative signs, and we have 12 positive signs. Well, we obviously have more positives than negatives. How many more? Well, we have to do this over here. I'm going to do 12 minus 6. I have 6 more positive signs than negative signs, so my answer then would be +6. So there's kind of an example of having a negative minus a negative. We did a negative minus a positive minus a positive, and we did a positive minus a negative. The last type of problem I want to review with you guys would be what happens if we have multiple. We have multiple negative and positive numbers being subtracted from one another. So let's say we have, in this problem, -3 minus 5 minus -2. Let's see what happens. Now, one way we can do this is we can actually use the LCO method. So I'm going to put LCO up here. And so I'm going to leave the -3 alone. I'm going to change subtraction to addition. I'm going to change it from a positive 5 to a negative 5. Now at this point, I'm going to do LCO one more time. I'm going to do LCO. And so I'm going to leave the negative 5 as it is, change the negative sign to a positive sign, and I'm going to change the negative 2 to a positive 2 since that is the opposite. At this point, I can go, since we have an addition problem, all the way across, they're all addition. We can use the commutative property and go in any order that we like. In this case, I'm just going to go left to right because it works out well. Negative 3 plus negative 5 would give me a total of 8 negative signs. So I'd have 3 negative signs plus 5 negative signs gives me a total of 8 negative signs. I'm going to bring down the rest plus 2 or plus positive 2. And now, again, I have 8 negative signs. I'm adding it to 2 positive signs. Well, how many more do I have? Well, I could write this down or I could think in my head. 8 minus 2 to find the difference would be 6. And there are more negative signs, so I have how many more negative signs? I have 6 more negative signs. I have a total of negative 6. That is using the LCO method on a set of 3 numbers being subtracted from each other. This is the last example we're going to do. And it's going to be done very similarly, but we're going to do it all in one clean sweep. So in this problem, we're going to have 9 minus negative 3 minus 5. Let's see what happens here. So instead of doing the LCO and writing that out, every time I see a subtraction sign, I'm going to change it to addition, and I'm going to change the sign of the second number. So that's negative 3. I'm going to change it to positive 3. Over here, I see another negative sign. I'm going to change it to addition and change the sign of the second number, which is a positive 5. I'm going to make it into a negative 5. And then I can go ahead and begin solving. So again, I'm going to go left to right just because the two positives just happen to be side by side. Positive 9 plus positive 3 gets us a total of positive 12. I'll bring down my negative 5. And again, now I have a whole number, a positive number plus a negative number. So I need to find out what's the difference. So I'm going to look at their absolute values, and I have 12. I'm going to find the difference between 12 and the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So I'm going to do in my head 12 minus 5 is 7. And since 12 is the bigger of the two numbers, of the two absolute values, it's going to be positive 7. So this is your lesson on subtracting integers. I hope it was helpful. Have a wonderful day.